I was diagnosed with dementia at 31 years old. I am currently the youngest person in the UK with my form of dementia, which is frontal lobe atrophy. I am originally from Barbados. Not many people have known about it. A small little Caribbean island. I was born there in 1983. I took a lot of abuse, a lot of abuse as a kid. It wasn't easy, but my upbringing with my family was wonderful. I couldn't have asked for a better environment to be in. I never identified as a boy. I hated being a boy as a child. I felt like completely I was in the wrong sex as a child because I was just all woman. I was diagnosed with dementia at 31 years old. I am currently the youngest person in the UK with my form of dementia, which is frontal lobe atrophy. When I found out I had the condition, I kind of fell apart. I've outlived my expectancy. And I'm considered a walking miracle to them because a recent study came out a couple of years ago stating that the human brain can develop new neurons in order to cope. So instead of taking A to B, I would take A, D, C to get to B. And I did. I had to learn how to walk, talk, and write again. And the diagnosis was hard at 31. I had no memory of what my partner did. I had no memory of my family. Of my mom and dad, yes, but I still introduced myself to my cousins as if I met them for the first time. You have to take extra precautions. And that's how I've managed to survive and function, and I look fine for myself, but behind the closed doors, it's another matter. The work that I have done is what really, really gave me a purpose. I don't mind going through hell, and I'm spiritual. I still go to church and do my prayers, but I felt like it's not in vain to going through so much hell if I'm still out there trying to do something to help somebody else. There was no services for me, nothing. Yeah, I think also the loneliness part of it, because you know in your mind that you've gotten a bit better, but there's going to get a point where it will just get worse. And it gets worse every single year. And I don't know what my future is going to be like with my condition at home. COVID and the pandemic really had an impact on my mental state, and which I didn't realize. So 1 in 4 people with dementia died. And we saw many cases where people who did not receive any human touch or the family around them aged right before their eyes. And I started realizing I was getting the same thing. Every year I see my parents, I get a hug from my family, I'm a bit more anchored, I see my best friend. When we go away, I feel hugged and loved. And even though I have friends, it's not the same. Not that kind of love feeling. I separated from my partner in February, everything collapsed. My support worker, the LGBT Foundation lost its building. I couldn't see my mom and dad, couldn't see my best friend, and it felt like everything was purposely stripped away from me. The first time I got a hug in almost 11 months was when my best friend came out, when I came out of quarantine, and he gave me a hug, and I literally felt loved. And having my friends around me in Barbados take care of me, and my aunt brought me coconut water when I was ill, and all those little things was like, oh my God, I actually feel supported in a way that I have not felt supported in a long time. And yeah, the pandemic made me realize a lot, but also made me realize how fragile support is and how friendship and family should be honored. I realized that there were so many other people who could be in my situation that gets no support. And the only way I can develop support for myself was trying to build something for somebody else and use my heartache and hope, my pain, to integrate that into an organization that we're trying to develop something different. We're trying to help other people. But that's literally because I need that support for myself when it's set up. Like, I'm trying to help with care homes in Manchester for LGBT people because I might need one. So I'm smart in that area. I'm not stupid. I will try to develop something, but it's literally for me. I'm trying to develop something for myself. And if it's a pathway for other people, then wonderful. That means no one has to go through what I went through. The Bring Dementia Out project started in 2017 as an idea with the Alzheimer Society. I originally set up the first LGBT dementia network, which was a voluntary thing with a lot of amazing individuals, but as a volunteer thing, people can't always turn up. But it was the first in the world. Yeah, I even had LA call me to find out about how to do the project. And then the Alzheimer's Society brought up the Bring Dementia Out project. For 2 years, it was an innovation. We interviewed people from all walks of life. I did a dementia video with them. It was wonderful. But after 2 years, the project is finished because you need funding for it. And I actually met a lady from Guinness House and Trust who I live with. And I pitched it to her. I said to her, wouldn't it be amazing that you have a building who has a lot of LGBT people in it? That means someone else in here has dementia besides myself. Wouldn't it be great if your organization, Housing Association, had support for people living in their homes with early onset, that they feel like they can feel cared for? And she went, yeah, I got my funding. And from there, the Bring Dementia Out project now actually gives training. We train housing associations, Age UK, Tameside, and Guinness Housing Trust, and we're moving on to the other housing associations. We train them on LGBT issues as well as I'm the lived experience advisor. So I bring it home by mentioning the stories I've been through. And it's just to open the minds of people that there are people from our communities who are living within an establishment might need extra bit of care or support because our walks of life are completely different to the heterosexual norm. And we just train them in that. The whole thing is we don't know much about how LGBT people behave within care home settings and what they go through because no one's out. I use Grindr, believe it or not, and I have my work on there. And it was just a simple thing as someone said to me, I'm 51 years old. I never thought about dementia. I never even thought that if I developed dementia, where I would go for my support. But he was so proud to see someone from my community go out there and try to do something. Even one of the CEOs, he never thought about it. But we don't think about it until it happens. But when it does, where will you go? We're just trying to train people on the possibilities and open their minds towards how other communities behave. I have to thank Julie Collins from the Alzheimer Society. She was my support worker for many years. Oh, I'm gonna cry. She helped save my life about 2-3 times. I have to thank Andrew Gulliver from the foundation, Simon Baker and Charlotte Cook. They really made it worth living. And Andrew was my boss many times before, and he really honed in what skill and talent I had and gave me a direction. He said to me, you had a good platform with your HIV, but you can really develop a new platform in order to help other people. So don't feel scared or alone. Just do that. And you'll find comfort. Yeah, I need to thank them. So I was able to start lecturing at universities as a lived experience advisor. First, I would lecture about HIV. I would lecture about substance abuse because I've been through that. And then dementia. The reason why I did well was because there was no one, my age group, who was able to express what it feels like to have dementia. You know, most people the English culture is not about expression. I'm not English, we talk. In the Caribbean, we blabble everything. So I had no problem telling you what was going through my mind. And I spend a lot of time in my mind trying to figure out, is this the reason why I do this? And is that the reason? And it comes through within my work. I feel sorry that there's people out there who still don't have the strength to fight for a diagnosis or too afraid to go to the hospital and tell their doctor that there's something wrong with their memory. And I'm upset to know that a trans woman's too scared to think of her future. She goes into a care home, and I feel like it's my responsibility because I have the fight, I have the face, and I have the words still to do it for them. It means a lot to know that someone thought of me, that I'm not a small person just from Manchester or from Barbados. I'm actually someone who was recognized for something. It means that my work will get a bit more publicity, and it means I've grown up a bit more. You spend 7 years of your life trying to recover from a breakdown and a condition, and you spend those 7 years fighting to do stuff. You really haven't had time to heal, and I feel like, oh my God, I've healed enough that my work has gotten me another recognition.